Right, so this is the final ride on the Sinnis Apache 125. This will be my summary of how I've got on with this bike over the last 2 weeks. So stick around, stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, press the bell for your notifications, give me a big thumbs up, and let's get riding. So I've had this bike for 2 weeks now, and in that time I've done a good couple of 100 miles, and I've found it a real experience. It's been a nice time riding this bike. I'm really grateful to Sinnis for loaning me the bike for 2 weeks. I haven't ridden a 125 in 2 years. So it's nice to get back out on something completely different. So a roundup of how I found this bike. It's very, very basic, very simple to ride. There's not a lot to it. If you're in the market for a cheap, very basic bike, then I'd highly recommend taking the Sinnis out for a test ride. They are pretty good bikes, going to be cheap to maintain, cheap to repair. I don't think you're going to find yourself having too many issues with this. How have I found the brakes? The brakes are okay, just standard, nothing special. They've got enough stopping power to do what they're designed for, bring the bike to a nice stop. The rear brake isn't that bad, to be honest. It's quite a comfortable one. The seating position, again, very comfy. I've ridden this bike for a good couple of hours at points and not had any issues with it. If you want a bike that's going to get you from A to B every day, like a commute, then it's definitely going to be a good bike to choose. Now, I am going to try a top speed run on the National up here. That was a ridiculous move. There's nothing behind me close and they just cut in front of me. Idiot. So I'm going to put it into 4th gear. When we hit the National, I'm going to see if we can get all the way up to 60 before we run out of room. I'm going to come round and give it a try with a bit more of a shot. So here we go. Hand completely twisted, 4th gear, 9,000 RPM, 50 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, 51, 52, up gear, still 52. I don't think I'm going to hit 60 miles an hour before I run out of space. 53, 54, 55. No, I don't. So I'm having to back off for the roundabout, back off for the lights. So if you're a fully grown adult, you might find this is a little bit restricted on 60s. However, that was a slight uphill. So we're going to go round and hopefully we'll try it again and we might actually hit 60 miles an hour. Now the tyres on this bike, they are pretty good. They give me no issues. I don't push it hard. I don't want to push the tyres to their limit. However, they fill me full of confidence that they're going to keep me on the road riding as you should do. Right, so we'll see how quick a 0 to 60 is on this, if we ever get to 60. So that's 45 miles an hour. We're up to 50. 53. We might actually make 68, you know. 58, 59, 60. Can we get to 70? 63, 64, 65, 66, 67 miles an hour. I've had to back off because the speed limit's changed. So I think that this bike will do 70 miles an hour. I reckon you could get it there. So that's good to know. You can get up to national speeds with this bike. Now the handling of this bike, it does handle really well. It's very, very light, about 130 kilograms. So it's not a heavy bike to move about. If you get a bit of a wobble on, where it is very light, it really does start wobbling all over the place. So you've got to bear that in mind, and that's a really strange place to be walking. Now, is this bike worth the £2,399 that Sinnis price it at? I think it is. I think if it was too cheap, they'd be doing themselves an injustice. As for the clutch control is a little bit difficult because you don't really have a big bite point on the clutch on this bike. So you're pretty much all the way out with the clutch before you get moving. So that does take a little bit getting used to, and especially when you jump back onto another bike where your bite point is a lot lower on other bikes. Now, I haven't had that many false neutrals on this bike. It's not as bad as some 125. Some bigger brands that I've ridden, KTM, Yamaha, when I've been changing up the gears on those and changing down, I've hit a few false neutrals, which does get a bit frustrating, and then you can't get it back into gear and you've got to stall it or you've got to turn the ignition off. But with this one, it hasn't really happened that often, which is good. If you're on a CBT and you want to learn how to do a turn in the road, if this bike is any good for it, we're going to give it a shot now and see how I get on. So, I come to the end of the car park here. Now, for those of you who don't know, to do a turn in the road, you go forward in one bay against the line, and you do a full U-turn, and you come and you park 2 lines up. So you're going 2 lines. So let's give this a go. So if you're on your CVT, you're going to be doing your lifesaver checks. You check over, then you go pull away, and just before you pull away again, check over. And there we go. So it is quite comfortable to do a turn in the road on the Sinnis Apache 125. Right, let's get out of here. Now, what's it like going over this bump? So, speed bump. Yep, nice and easy. The suspension on this bike is pretty good. Never given me any issues. It is comfortable. Now, what's the insurance like on this bike? So, on my other video, I've done an insurance quote on this bike for myself, and it's coming in at just under £200 a year. That said, when I've done an insurance quote for someone who is 17, 18, got their CBT licence, I've just passed, and we get out on a nice cheap run around bike to get used to riding, the price did go up quite considerably. Now, personally, I think it went up to a point which would kind of outprice the majority of young people getting out on the road. I certainly couldn't justify paying, and I put up now how much that quoted price was. So yeah, it's a bit steep, but that's one of those things. Insurances are going up, so if you want to get on the road, you are going to have to pay the price, unfortunately. So the suspension on this bike is really comfortable. It'll tackle most obstacles, most bumps. This road is quite potholy. I've definitely decided to come down here purely to try out the suspension one last time, and yeah, it's all good. Nice and bumpy here. You can feel the bumps, but they're not causing me any issues. The wind mirrors on the Apache are very good, diamond shaped. You can see quite comfortably out of them. Now for a first bike, I think this is absolutely fantastic. Great little bit of kit. You're definitely going to get your money's worth. Good bike to learn on. And this one has come with road tyres, so you can't really go off-roading in it. But with the height clearance and the suspension, you can pretty much get over most things. Bit of a bump here, let's go over it. Nice and easy. I think if you were to put some off-road tyres on this bike and take it green lane in or on byways, you're going to be laughing. It's going to be an absolute epic bit of kit. It's really going to be fun. Big end for commuting, getting yourself to and from college, Saturday job. You couldn't ask for anything more, really. It looks the business, simple and easy to ride. Another bit of a bump here, yeah, easy. The seat is comfy. Standing up if you're going off road, no dramas. I actually like taking this over a few bumps. It is good. So would I recommend a Sinnis Apache 125 for a first time rider? Definitely. Big thumbs up there from Rev Solutions towards Sinnis. You got a good bike. Now this Sinnis has come from On the Wheels, just outside Brighton on the south coast of England. Head over to them, check them out online, have a chat. Let's say you've seen the Sinnis Apache review on Rev Solution, and I'm sure they'll be grateful for it. I'm quite gutted that the 2-week test ride has come to an end, to be honest, because I've thoroughly enjoyed riding this bike. It has been a really good experience. It has made me want to get a small engine bike again. Sometimes you don't want a big, beefy, massive bike. You just want something that's easy and comfortable to ride. The acceleration, it gets up to your speed limits quite comfortably. 40 miles an hour, there we go. Now I did like it to another, basically a car in another video. I think this bike gets to your speed limits like a car. Now I think the best way I can describe the acceleration on this bike is your average family size car. Not a big performance car, but just an average size car. It gets to the speed limit comfortably. It doesn't tear to the speed limit, and it doesn't drag itself. It just gets there comfortably, and that's what you want at the end of the day. You just want something that's easy to ride and just gets you there. Beautiful sunset coming to the end of summer. Now I've shown a few people this bike, and the reactions that I've been getting are really positive. A lot of people like the look of it because it looks like a normal size dirt bike, scrambler bike, trials bike. It just looks the part. Handling going around corners, nice and easy, no issues there. Nice sweeping corners in through the roundabout. Beautiful. So, quick roundup of everything about this bike. It's comfortable, it's easy to ride, it's cheap to buy, it's cheap to insure if you haven't just passed your CVT. That said, you may get the quotes cheaper than I did. I did struggle to find cheap quotes for a 17-18 year old who's just passed their CBT. It wasn't very kind towards those younger riders, but you might have better luck than I did, so don't rule it out of the park. Do your quotes, see how it is for yourself, and then consider buying it. I have made a mistake in the past of buying a bike, going for it, getting the finance all sorted, then doing the insurance and finding out that the insurance was crippling. But at that point I'd already committed, so I thought just got to go with it. The wind mirrors give you good visibility once you get them in the right position. Seating position's great, handlebars are comfy, foot position's fantastic. The display is easy and simple to read. You've got a nice, easy to look at speedo, nice, easy to look at rev counter. This bike can comfortably take 2 adults for a ride, so it's going to take 2 younger adults for a ride, no problem whatsoever. It can go up and down curbs if you need to get in and out of your house. It can go off-roading, you can do jumps on it. The bike is very versatile. It's a great bike. £8 to £9 to fill up a full tank of petrol, get a good 160 odd miles out of that. It's claimed 100 miles per gallon. It's going to be cheap and easy to find parts for. It's just a good all-round cheap bike. And I do think if you get good tyres on this for off-road, it would be a fantastic little off-road bike. The build quality of the bike is pretty good. However, I have noticed a few little rust patches. So I think for a bike that isn't even a year old, it's quite worrying that it's got the odd rust patch here and there. The majority of that is on bolts. I mean, the exhaust system, that is starting to corrode up a little bit, but you could potentially get rid of that, give it a bit of a polish up. It shouldn't cause too much of an issue. So thanks for watching Rev Solutions and my final review of the Sinnis Apache 125, courtesy of Sinnis UK from On The Wheels down in Brighton. If you've liked this video, give me a big thumbs up. If you haven't liked the video, give me a double thumbs down. Press that dislike button twice, give me a double thumbs down. If you haven't already, click on that subscribe button, press the bell for the notifications so you're always notified when we upload new content. You'll be the first to find out. And if you've got time, drop a comment in the description below. Let me know what you liked about this video. Would you consider taking a Sinnis Apache 125 out for a test ride yourself? What appeals about the bike to you? What doesn't appeal? So until next time, stay safe, keep riding, and we'll see you soon.